Okay. Hello, 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 hello. How we doing? So, yesterday we talked about gutting this and reinforcing our spines. We cut our pieces that go inside, and then we cut our piece for the center. So this piece is twice the width of these pieces, because when you fold this up and it's full, you want to have room. So you are looking to have a piece that looks like that. So this is one book. This is a second book. This is a new spine. This is the original spines on the book. Okay. So that's that. All of this is going to be covered, whether you're covering it with fabric or you're covering it with paper. It's all going to be covered. So don't worry about the structure at this point. Okay. So now we're going to talk a little bit about covering your book. Hi, Carla. You can cover the whole thing in fabric if that's your choice. So you can take your fabric and you can cut a piece that's going to be big enough to cover the entire outside of your book, in which case you're going to want to make book cloth out of this, but you could cover the entire outside of your book if you want to. You can cut panels and just do book cloth and make panels and cover it with panels. That allows you to have something else for your spines. You could just cover your spines with your fabric. This is a personal choice. Okay. This one, since I have plain covers, I'm going to be covering this one mostly with paper. So I'm going to be cutting some fabric for my spines, but my covers are going to be paper. Okay. And since I'm not going to be covering this with fabric, I will do a second one and make a video of that entire prep process. Okay. Hello, Miss Mari. So today we're going to be working a little bit on some ephemera pieces. And then starting next week, we're going to start cutting our flips and flops and pockets and tucks and all that other stuff that are going to go in here, as well as our signatures. So there is a list in the description of this video that tells you kind of a rough of what you're going to need as far as file folders, papers for your signatures, those types of things. There is a list in the description of this video. So that is stuff that we're going to be using today and moving into next week. Yes, the snips, the snails, and the puppy dog tails. So today we're going to be working a little bit on making some ephemera. I'm just looking to see if there's anything in here I want to use. There isn't. We're going to move that aside. I have some tags that are left over from the last journal that will work here. We have some pages out of that book. We have some library cards, Amy paper. We have some paper. This is cardstock parchment. We have some cards. Any tags? What else could we possibly want here? All right, we have some little snippet pieces. These are like every snippet there is. I think we're going to use this set though because it's in a box. It's easier to use. Okay. Now, let's see. Since we're doing this one with the floral paper, flowers and butterflies. What is in there? We're probably going to use a lot of stuff. So I have out butterflies, flowers, some Tim Holtz stuff, and then this one, which is just kind of paper pieces, really, in here that I want to use. These things, you know. So, yes. So, I'm going to kind of get this stuff stacked up over here. And I'm going to start cutting these out. I apologize for yesterday. I was a little scattered yesterday. You know, it was just one of those days. We are going camping this week with the Grams. It's just going to be an overnight, but we're leaving Sunday morning. So I'm going to see if I can do the game while they're packing the car. And if I can't, well, then I guess we'll see if we can find a guest host. Otherwise, we're not going to play the game this week. That sucks. I know. It's Hubbard's schedule. It messes up everything. I don't want that one. It's crooked. This one's not exactly straight, but it's straighter than that one was. Okay. I was, yeah, I was a little manic. Issues, Okay, so now I have all my little pieces here. I've cut. And we have bugs, and we have cards, and we have flowers, and we have stuffs. But wait, there's more. Okay, I think that's all of it. I'm going to put those away because we're going to use those as actual tags. Oh, wait, there's more. Holy crap and holy. Much of the stuff that I cut. Okay, I'm not going to use those. I think that's more lends itself to a journal card more than, some ephemera. I think these lend themselves more to little journal cards. So let's get those out of the mix. None of those are really small enough for what we're looking for. Well, that one might be. All right, I'll keep that one in. And we have these faux tea cards, cigarette card things. We could use those maybe too. Okay. Oh, yeah, because they'll be here. Well, and Shaylee she's 16 now, so, and she wants to go. That's the thing. She's 16 and she wants to go camping with grandma and grandpa. So, yeah. All right, so I'm going to get out that cool slicer that I have. You can do this with tearing rulers or just tear it. But for me, it just works faster if I use this. And all I'm doing is just cutting all the way around so that I have that rough edge everywhere. And then I just kind of randomly cut some pieces, that I'm going to use partially for bases. There's always that last piece, There we go. And of course, if you don't have, tearing rulers or whatnot, just tear it. Get a regular straight ruler and just tear it. If you happen to have some tearing rulers, just tear it. Maybe you have deckled scissors. Whatever it is you have. I think that's going to be enough bases. So I have bases. And then my next step in this process would be to ink these. And we're not using tried and true. I'm using frayed burlap for this one. Hi, Michelle. Yes. So this is like the only time that I will kind of do a make ahead, and that's because I'm making ahead for this specific journal. I want these to look sort of uniform. I want them to look cohesive. Otherwise, you know. So this is going to be a mass make as opposed to, you know, when we do the make aheads. With the make ahead, I'd probably stop right here, you know, at inking these. Because I don't like it when every single journal I make looks exactly like the one I did before. And that is kind of what happens when you get that. When you start doing that mass make. All right, so some of these have straight edges. What are you going to do with straight edges? Or this weird wonky piece. It looks like a banner. I will just strategically decorate it. I'll show you. I'll show you. All right. So, almost done here. I would say I would put these aside and we'd get moving on. But now we're almost done, so, you know. Now, if you don't want something that looks, you know, rustic like this, and you want something that's a little more perfect, get out your punches, babe. Punch away. Have a good time. That works too. I'm going to grab a punch and we'll do one. Okay. So let me get a piece of this. So maybe you want to use a punch. Okay. That works too. Okay. So we'll do one with a punch. All right. Okay. So now what I usually do is I'll spread these out. And now I'm going to look at my images that I'm going to use. You know my philosophy. You know? If you're not sure, just throw something at it until it works, you know? Now that one I think is big enough to be on its own. We will glue it to something though so that it's a little bit stiffer, maybe, possibly. We might just leave it the way that it is, but I think that's big enough to be on its own. So you can see, you can get away with a pretty large piece here. That's a little ridiculous, though, so we won't do that one. I have some of these, too, that I cut that are circles, so those will be cool. I really like that. You know what? I think that should be on a journal card. So this is just the first part of the process. You know, it's just looking at these things and going, that'll work. No, not that. It's a little one. More plants, less bugs. I mean, you gotta have bugs, but. Okay. Yeah, I like that. All right, so now I've kind of gone through my pile and I kind of have all of these set up. I told you that metformin is that stuff is no joke.
Yeah.
Not sure about that one, but we're going to look at it. Those are out of the way. So at this point, I'm going to ink my images that I have selected. And then we'll glue these down. On there. I think we're going to swap that one. I kind of like that idea better. Okay. So if this is not your jam and you're not going to be putting, pieces down, then skip this step. That is entirely up to you. If you want to do a little ephemera on here because you're going to be doing a little ephemera on here, then make some. You don't have to make this many pieces. Maybe you want to make a third of this, or you only want 2 or 3 pieces. That is entirely up to you. But today, this is what we're doing. We're doing this. And in a minute, we're going to do some tags and then some journaling cards, if we have time. Hubby and that whole working thing. All right, so I am on book 10 of the set. I still have to get book 1 out tomorrow. I told her I'd send her the first one, so she could get caught up in it. Not to mention, the first one's hard to find, as we have discovered. Like, we found everything but. Hi, Miss Francis. All right, coming to the end. It looks like tea right there. So don't limit yourself. Don't say, well, that image is too big. If it's too big, work around it. You can reduce the image without reducing the image, Because I could take this big image and put it on here like this, and then I could cover parts of this up with labels and stuff, and you wouldn't even realize that it's such a big damn image. So play. Have some fun. Just start sticking stuff together. It's not rocket science. And this may not work for you. You may be one of those people that's like, you have to have everything just like very, very specifically well thought out and planned. Thank God I'm not that person. I could never be that person. I do have diagnosed obsessive compulsive, but my obsessive compulsive is like throw something at it, I'll fix it. Throw something. It's actually a coping mechanism that I learned very young when I was first diagnosed. My therapist told me, instead of worrying about things always being perfect, just worry about them not being perfect, make them imperfect. And it worked. I have a mess, but it is an organized mess. And I know where things are. They ask me for stuff, I can find it. I could tell somebody 15 times to get my keys out of my purse and they could not find them, and I will just stick my hand in there blindly and pull them out. Of course, that's, I think, because my purse is Mary Poppins' suitcase, but, Get this up here. Just a little bit right there. Just a little bit. Is that all of it? Yeah, except for this thing. We're not sure what we're doing with this yet. I don't know if I'm going to put this on here, but we're going to ink it and take a look. Maybe, maybe not. I might not like this image. Could be an issue. I may not like it, Yeah, I just don't like this image. Eh. All right, so we have 2 of these that we can use just, the way they are. And I have all these. Look it, I have ephemera. It's not yet ephemera, but it's bordering on it. Okay, now I do have some pieces of muslin. I have some colored nettings, some bits and pieces of burlap, some ribbons. Of course, I'm going to get down the little bits box because that's full of stuff like that. See? And we're just going to kind of start building here. And for me, it's just kind of grabbing one at random and then working my way through. What do I think will work for it? So I have a lot of these flowers. Good idea, but not. Good idea, but I don't like the execution. Kind of like this. I'll grab a pair of scissors here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay, I like this. Yeah, I knew somebody who had OCD. She had the exact same kind I had, but we used to drive each other crazy. She was a stacker. Okay? Like, she would come in and she would see this, right? And she would put it in a very neat pile like this. And that was her thing. But she didn't clean. You know what I mean? She just stacked. She was a stacker. Love her to death, very dear friend of mine, but stop stacking. I think that's going to fit on there. I am going to trim a little bit of this white away. It's not a lot, but because this is a washi sticker, so a lot of that will blend out. But I just want to trim it down just a bit. A little bit of ink. Okay, let's get the back off. If we can. Let's see. I'm going to be sending out flowers and happy mail too, by the way, because I have a lot of flowers. A lot of flowers. I have to tell you, I hate these PVC stickers. Like, they're okay for some things, but for the most of what we do, not so much, you know? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Nope. Nothing in there. What do we have in here? Oh, lovely. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I don't know. We're thinking about that one. Okay. So I'm going to look at the ones that I already did. That one's dry now. And this is where you get ink all over your hands. Nope. I do have some tweezers. I don't like that label at all. Get it out of here. Okay, I like that. That'll work. this one up here. All right, and this little guy. Now, if you don't have Timmy stuff and you can't buy Timmy stuff or you don't want Timmy stuff, there is plenty of label pieces on Etsy, and you would be supporting a small designer, which is always, preferable than supporting a giant company. All right, so I'm going to finish these off camera. Well, yeah, look at this. Like I don't have a whole lot of space here to work. All right, so we're going to take a look at these two, which is the most completed ones we have. This one, maybe. And, this is where you put on any little embellishments that you want. I'm going to put on a little poke. Nope, don't like that one. Gotta find the right one, It's gotta be the right one. Yeah. Put a little pokey up there. That's a piece. It's done. Throw it in the bin. Then we have this piece. And, somebody made a rule at some point that said you had to use 3 pieces of blingy day. Well, I'm telling you, you use 12 if that's what you want. Use 5 if you want. Use 2. I don't care. Whatever makes you happy. To me, that needed 2 pieces, and that was all it needed. Sometimes don't listen to them. The craft police are meaners. Meaners, I tell you. Oh no, I don't worry about it. It's almost empty. It's got like that much in the bottom of it. So I'm gonna put a new bottle out. But thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know what we're doing on this one. No idea. Not quite feeling it. Not sure yet. But I do have all of these to finish. So I'm going to work on these today. And then when we get back together, which may be tomorrow, we'll take a look at all of them, but I'm going to get out all my stuff. You never know. You never know what you're going to see in your small bits or, in a piece of scrap that you didn't think you were going to like. And it may be the piece, So get out all your little scraps and stuff. Speaking of scraps, did anybody watch yesterday's video? What do you think? I got rid of the littlest scraps yesterday. I was so proud of me. Come on, glue. I got a whole line out of that. All right. I made something out of the smallest stuff possible. That was like a personal challenge. See this small right here? I'm going to make something out of that. This needs a little something right here. Probably a label. Could be a label. Could be a word. I don't know. When in doubt, use the old standbys. Well, that video was taking little teeny bits of stuff and making let me see if I have them in here, and making some really cool little pieces of ephemera. So these are made out of like those little leftover pieces of paper that you have, that you trim off that little bit on the edge. They're not even straight, and so we did a bunch of those, and I show you the process in the video. It's really quick, really easy, really fun. And if you save up, a bunch of the little bits and scraps, then you can do a whole bunch of them all at once. And as long as you don't decorate them, because they're just a Mod Podge of color, it's a make-ahead. Use it as a make-ahead. All right. So let me get the rest of these out of here real quick. Close this. I'm going to move these back. We're going to look at the ones that we've sort of completed. This one still needs something. I'm not sure. But so these are going to be bits of ephemera that we are going to be using in our journal. And I think that, there's going to be a place for each of them. You know what I mean? Because of the variety we have here. Let's see. Anything else on this one? No, I'm going to work on these and then I'll show them to you guys. I might take pictures of them. Now, somebody did ask me about this, and I'm going to, real quick, I'm going to show you. So In the last one, I had a piece of really frayed burlap, and somebody went, okay, how did that happen? And so let me show you. So you just take a snip on a piece of burlap, and then you tear it. That's going to create, the start of that. And what I use is my pokey tool, and I just start poking on the side here, and I go up and down, and I just drag my pokey tool out, and I pull out the threads. Okay. And then I move on to the next side. I do a little on this side, and you do have to kind of work your way around the piece. And that gives you that frayed look that you want. Okay. Was there another one? There was another one. Hold on. Where's the other one? The other one was the bird's nest. So sometimes you'll see me do a bird's nest on something. So what I do is I just wrap the thread. And it's not really bird's nest. They just call it that. Just wrap it around my fingers 10, 15 times. And then you just kind of glue that down. Just put down some glue and kind of smoosh it into the glue. And you end up with that really cool look. Let me see if I've got a piece of this. And I'm going to need some glue, and we'll do this real quick. Sucks using silver, but But you kind of get that like messy pile. And then you could put something inside of it. Of course, that doesn't go with that, but you get the idea. To kind of cover it up. And if you're using this kind of thread that has multiple strings, shred it out before you do it. The thinner the thread for this, the better. I often use just regular sewing thread. Because it works better with just regular sewing thread. Now I'm going to get rid of this. Look at that mess I've made. Oh, great. Now I can make 2 more pieces. Anything else? Is there anything else? No, I think those were the 2 questions that I needed to address. Usually, like I said, I'll use regular thread, but like if I have something that's like this, where it's, like that wrapped thread, what I'll do is I'll just come down here and I'll take it apart. This is a 6-string or 8-string. And I'll just take it apart. get it down to the little bits. Like that. And when you do that, you really don't have to even wrap it around your fingers. Just kind of lightly roll it. And then just glue it down. So you'll get that kind of cool. And then, of course, the other part is, too, you can always use the fiber if you have it. We used it in a project. Can you get it? Here we go. So this is the angel hair heat bondable. And I have a bunch of colors of this. I did a video on it. If you want to take a look at that video, you basically take some of this and you can mix it with other colors. And then you iron it between two pieces of wax paper and it kind of melts and it's really cool. But there's a video on this. So if that's something that you would be interested in, check out the video. It's kind of an older one on there, but shouldn't be too hard to find. If I get time, I will. I'll link it in the group so that you guys can see that one. But yeah, any kind of thread will work, especially the ones that are, wrapped. But, like if you're using like silk threads or something like that that are really thin, those would work. Embroidery floss, just tear them apart. Any kind of fiber like that will work. Okay. So I'm going to work on these off camera, get them all dolled up. We'll take a look and see how they are when we come back together. I may come on later tonight. I may come on tomorrow. Hard to say. I'm in a mood. My loving husband just went, uh-oh. Oh, look, we got a leftover piece from the last one. We'll keep it. Use it on this one. Yeah, I think that's it. So, oh, the other thing that somebody had asked me to do, and so I'm going to do it real quick and show you, is, I do these things where I have these slots, but I have slot dies, and not everybody has a slot die. So somebody asked me on how to do this, and so here's how I do it. If you do not have a slot die, but you want to put a slot in something. Okay, let's get. Here we go. All right, we want to put a slot in this, but we don't have a slot die. So what you do is you put it on your board or ruler, okay? You could use your hole punch for this too, but you want to make sure that you're straight. So what I do is I just mark a very light line because we're going to take it out anyway. Oh, where'd my pencil go? There it is. Okay, so let's say I want to have it, be about an inch down. I just mark my line. Okay. Got angel fiber. Then I take my punch. You don't have to have this one. If you've got a little one, that's fine. I decide how deep, how far across I want it to be. Then I go in and I just punch a hole. Okay. Then I go over to the other side and I punch a hole on the other side. Now this one obviously is not going to be great because it's right on the edge, but I just wanted to give you the idea. So I take that and I have two holes. And then I put my ruler at the bottom of those holes. Put my razor in the first hole. and I just cut over till I feel it drop. That way I know that it's gotten through. Then I take my ruler and I put it at the top of the holes. You can turn the piece around if it makes it easier for you. I put my ruler at the top of the holes, and I start at the hole, and I cut until I hear it, till I feel it. It's a feel, okay? Then, ta-da! We have a slot, and so I can make it any width I want. And the best part is that I cut out the pencil mark, and the only place I have any pencil is right here on the edge. But ta-da! A nice clean slot. Okay? Now, if I want a bigger slot, use the other side of the punch. Use a bigger punch. It doesn't have to be that punch, you know? That's the point. It can be any punch that you got. Sorry about my big fat arm. Okay. Okay, any other questions on this? Because I've gotten bunches of them. But I think those are the three that I got the most.
Hey, Marcia.
How to do this.
With Cox Advanced Technical Support calling on
Slots.
the line. How you doing today, ma'am?
Yeah, that's all. All right. So I may be on tomorrow. I may be on tonight. Hard to say. Just wait and see.
Yeah. So, hey, Marcia. I've got your internal ticket number 830.
Yeah. All right. If you're new here and you haven't done so already, hit the button. Make a fat lady happy. Poke it. Push that button. Let's see what else. Oh, who am I kidding? Make a fat broad happy.
Well, actually, we opened it with you. You're the type 2.
Let's see. We will be doing a whole bunch of stuff. And if you want to know what we're going to be doing, check out the community tab here on the YouTube channel. That's going to give you everything, including, you know, like free classes, craft alongs with me, things like that. It's all going to be there. And if you are on Facebook, you can join our Facebook group. Also, don't forget, join us for our Projects of 24 challenge. This year, we're doing the 52 card challenge, 52 ATC cards, artist trading cards, one a week. And we do have a list that we're going with. You can join at any time you want. You can go back to the beginning. You can start in the middle and work your way back. I don't care. Just if you post it in the group, please list what week it is, because, wow. We don't want to think that we're looking at flowers when we're looking at honeybees, you know? All right. So that's it. That's all I have. Until I see you again, stay cool, stay hydrated, stay inside, and above all, stay well, my friends. I love you guys. Bye.